Hey, you guys, welcome back to Drea and Momo's channel. Yay, we hitting you right off the back with another one. As we can see, there's a lot of controversy right now in social media with Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Everybody's blowing up because everybody's wondering, how did Kyle get off? Kyle
Mm.
Rittenhouse. It's just crazy. How did he get off? Like, out of everything. Like, he basically killed two people. Like, that's two lives lost. And he just walked scotch free. I don't know. I don't think it's justifiable. He get nothing and is acquitted. I think it's ridiculous. It makes our court system look like a joke. So I'm gonna turn it over to Drea. She's gonna give you the backstory. But as we all know, it's bullshit.
So, like Moon said, Kyle Rittenhouse got off, and he's acquitted from the crimes that he committed on August 25th during a protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin. The police were after the police shooting of Jacob Blake. Now, if you don't know who Jacob Blake is, we're just going to talk about that. Real quick is the backstory of why Kyle Rittenhouse is even in Kenosha in the first place. So, the shooting of Jacob Blake. Jacob Blake. Okay. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, so did you do did you do a sound? All right.
Good.
So on August 23rd, 2020, Jacob Blake, an African American man, was shot 7 times from behind by a Kenosha police officer after he was already tased. Blake was shot after opening the door to an SUV and he was leaning in the vehicle. As a result of the shooting, he became paralyzed from the waist down. So Jacob Blake didn't die. He ended up being paralyzed, which is still terrible. Like this man, he has a family. Okay, so the police shooting was followed by protests as part of the Black Lives Matter movement, which, saw a lot of, in the wake of several high profile killings by police officers. Okay, so this is why Kyle Rittenhouse was in Kenosha. They were protesting in Kenosha because of the Jacob Blake shooting and, police protesting police brutality. So Kyle Rittenhouse, a 17-year-old who lives in Illinois, decided to travel to Kenosha, Wisconsin, and he ended up fatally shooting two men and wounding one more person in a confrontation. He had armed himself with a semi-automatic AR-15 and said
Mm.
that he was in Kenosha to protect a car dealership from being vandalized and to provide medical aid. So the controversy about all of this, right, is because this man Rittenhouse didn't live in that state. He traveled there armed in order to defend a car dealership and provide aid to whoever was wounded during this protest. So now we're going to watch a video, basically talk with him on trial. There's videos circulating about him on trial with him crying and saying, he didn't mean to do what he did.
Mhm.
And a lot of people are saying that, he's a white supremacist and whatnot, based on what had happened, and that he was there, in the protest, not to protect Black lives, but also to promote like the fact that he's on the police um protection side, like he believes with, Blue Lives Matter. But a lot of people see it as, yes, he was there armed. Yes, he wasn't supposed to be there because he doesn't even live in the state. Yes, he was there, with his weapon. But even if you're with a weapon and people are coming after you and attacking you when you have a weapon, who's to say you're not going to shoot? So the people are saying, you know, on one hand, yes, he has no right to be there and no right to shoot these people and injure them or kill them. On another hand, he was protecting himself because he does have a weapon, yes, but they're attacking him, and it's a group of people that was, you know, running after him during this incident. So that's where the two lines seem to just can't agree with exactly what to do with Rittenhouse, and if he's guilty, if he's not guilty, should he be charged for these two murders? The fact that he got off and that he was acquitted of everything, that definitely set an uproar in the community. So that's what we're going to watch right now, the video of protests and stuff happening in the neighborhoods because of his acquittal. Take it away, Momo.
So fair use, everyone. Fair use.
You know,
You'll be surprised.
right?
Cities across the country bracing for a second night of protests after the acquittal of Kyle Rittenhouse. From New York City to Chicago to Portland, where police declared a riot after some in the crowd damaged buildings and threw things at police officers. The demonstrations happening after a jury found Rittenhouse not guilty of all charges connected to a shooting in Kenosha back in 2020. I want to go to my panel now. And David, I want to talk to you first. You know, yesterday, one of the head of the NYPD actually texted me shortly after the verdict that the entire personnel under the NYPD were ordered to stay on shift for fear of backlash. What say you?
Well, I say this is what's dangerous about the left on leash, and we're now seeing them fully on display, because not only at the NYPD, where you and I probably know some of the same people who've been there for a while, around the country, as I spoke to my sources and others on the back channels, they were talking about this. A lot of officers concerned about this precinct level. And when you look at one of the things reported by the Daily Caller, and they were instrumental in this case, even more so than a lot of the legacy and left-wing media, they were saying burn the precinct, every city, every town. So police departments knew what was coming.
Tammy, I don't know if you agree, but my thought on this is that the reason for the backlash has to do a lot with all the misinformation being reported by several media outlets. They're now trying to backtrack their reporting. There are so many facts that we're missing. Case in point, many Democratic politicians questioned whether, you know, Rittenhouse was there in Kenosha the night of the shooting. It turned out he was already in Kenosha. He had family there, including his father. The gun was also in Kenosha. It also turns out the gun was not illegal, which is why the minor carrying a weapon charge
was
dropped.
working in Kenosha.
All of this is what has enraged America.
Well, but look, I think I would disagree in some sense that it's like any excuse. When you talk about Portland is upset and Portland is burning things down, what's new? Right? It's like any excuse. And they don't care about the facts of the matter. They never have, even about the police. As the police have been effectively de facto defunded in so many of these cities, things have gotten worse. And that's fine with these individuals. I mean, look, I think that what has also made this a bigger problem, and I think you guys might agree with this, are the comments by office holders, like here in New York. De Blasio and even Cuomo opened up his pie hole to you know, make a comment about how bad this was and to condemn the verdict, and the implication by members of Congress and by other mayors and other effectively leftists and you know, Democrat politicians have fueled the fire, almost wanting riots. Like they just don't want to be wrong. That's their big issue, right, you guys? That like they just don't want to be wrong about these things.
Well, they're not backtracking. They're actually doubling down and tripling down, Julie, if you think about it. And Tammy, Charlie, hi, good to see you. But they're doubling down and tripling down. They're pushing the lie, and it's gone international. This is a very dangerous thing.
Yes, it is.
Charlie, first of all, you know, she's talking about Democratic politicians and members of Congress, but it's not just members of Congress, it's the president of the United States, because when this happened during his election, during his campaigning, the president called him a white supremacist. He could actually be, you know, found guilty for defamation. I mean, it is, it's an actionable comment that he made.
Yeah, no, and I think that a big reason you're starting to see the media sort of backtrack on a lot of this stuff, they're trying to clean up a lot of the things that they said, because things just got real here. Because you've got a guy who is suddenly, not only is he not a white supremacist, and there's never been any evidence for that in the first place, but he's also been found not guilty. So we don't know exactly where all of this goes from here, but I can guarantee you, Kyle Rittenhouse has an opportunity to sue the living daylights out of a lot of people for defamation, and he's going to win. By the time this is all over with, he's going to be a very wealthy man.
Can I add something there? One of the funniest comments on Twitter was that Nick Sandmann and Kyle Rittenhouse have agreed to share custody of CNN. I mean, this is when you're looking at who's been suing and as though they didn't learn anything from before. But really, this is troubling, because even the comments that maybe people thought were like a little, more moderate, like from maybe even AOC, but the implication is that the system worked as it was designed to. And of course, they're saying,
yeah. They're upset about all the riots and stuff that's going on, and I understand that. I mean, it's probably not going to get better because of a lot of, like you said, defunding of the police, and then, all these riots. But it's not going to get better if people consider that the fact that these killings are still happening. The whole reason for the riots is because a Black man was shot in his back 7 times.
7 times, not just one, 7.
He wasn't armed. And I mean, like,
and that's disrespectful to the back, not even to the front.
No, but I'm glad they didn't shoot him in the front, girl. He probably would have died. At least he's still alive. That's a good part about it. Even though he's paralyzed, it's just sad, that this had to take place. I mean, I'm sure the police officer is going to say, his back was turned. I don't know if he was reaching for a weapon, but
so he didn't kill anybody. He just paralyzed.
He's paralyzed. Yeah.
So he didn't really kill anybody?
No. Jacob Blake did not kill anybody. He was just, stopped by an officer and shot 7 times. The protests happened because they were protesting police brutality and police shootings. And then Kyle Rittenhouse showed up to one of those protests to try to defend the car dealership against looters. Every time something happens in the society now, the next trigger is looting.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that happens, any trial
now,
that happens.
Did he kill anybody?
Who, Kyle?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he killed 2 people.
Yeah, I was like, what? Like, so they making it seem like 2 lives is nothing. Like, oh, it's just self-defense.
I think they're trying to say self-defense. They're basically, chalked it up as self-defense because there are pictures of him seen on the ground with the weapon in the air, and a lot of people trying to get on top of him, trying to fight him for the weapon. I'm assuming if you have somebody pointing the weapon at him, but what if they did get the weapon from him? They could have beat him to a pulp, possibly killed him. Who knows? The thing is, when the police showed up to that scene, they didn't even arrest him. They didn't arrest him. He ended up turning himself in at the courthouse. So who knows?
It's a touchy case. And since you explain it like that way, I mean, a part of me thinks if he's defending himself, you will kill a lot of people if you're defending yourself.
Yeah. Granted, he shouldn't have been. What was he even doing there?
Why was he even out there? You know what? People do riots, right? I think these riots are planned. Huh?
It was his duty to defend the car dealerships.
That's not his duty. Come on. He could have lost his life doing that. Did it really mean that much? That's why people have insurance. You got insurance on your business. You got insurance on your car. Come on now.
We spoke about it in the Ahmaud Arbery case, the video we did on Ahmaud Arbery. Check that out in the links, guys. So we spoke about people taking it upon themselves to dub themselves police officers and take it upon themselves to feel like they need to go out there and act like they are a member of the law. And in this instance, Kyle Rittenhouse took his gun and he decided to go to another state and act like a bodyguard or the defender of the car dealerships to
And then kill two
just make some
people
sense. Kill two
and
people
paralyze
because they're
another one.
defending the car. I just listen. I don't understand the logic when people start doing the things they do. So it just sucked that he got off. You know, I feel bad for the family of the two men that he killed, the two people that he killed, and the person that he injured. It could have been more, and that is the sad thing about it. You got people walking around with guns everywhere doing damage.
I just went like this, and walked away. What is so hard with doing that?
It's not enough. It's not enough. It's like it's not enough
Like,
of those
like
guys.
you see hundreds of people. You're gonna sit there and kill 100 people just because you're defending the car dealership? Come on, like
The car dealership don't even know that it's being defended. The owners probably don't give two
it's
craps about
insane.
the defense that you're putting.
Remember when I was in school,
Who
we
are you
learned
really
about
doing it for?
a person, place, and thing.
Yeah, the looting doesn't really add up either because it doesn't. I understand America's upset. America is very much tired of this happening over and over and over again. The lootings, I don't think that it brings any kind of change. The change needs to happen within the justice system, within the way that we are being portrayed by the media, by the public, just everyone in there. It doesn't stop. It starts with education. It starts with teaching people that they need to love one another and stop discriminating. These older people that we have, these older individuals, they have been putting it on the young individuals, people as young as Kyle Rittenhouse and younger than him, that this is what you need to go out in the world and do.
It's a sad case. And then they're talking about some misinformation. I can't deal with CNN and all their reporters. I just can't. And if they get sued, that's on them. But it's like,
Yeah.
and he's talking about he gonna sue everybody. Okay.
So we're gonna leave this one alone. Yeah, it's a sad case, but he can't be tried twice. So it's just, this is what it is. He got acquitted and
He can't, right? That's it.
that's it.
I guess we all have to live with that. I don't know.
That's what a lot of people are gonna be protesting against. But we're gonna pray for the family of the people who are deceased and hope that this doesn't happen again. I mean, come on, we gotta do better, America. We gotta do better. All right, so we're gonna end it now and we're gonna go ahead and make another video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and put some reviews and things you want us to have like as topics in the comment section.
Okay. Thank you for having us. Like, comment, and subscribe down below. And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.